Rico Simonini, how are you? When did you decide to become an actor, first of all? You are a doctor.
I'm a doctor, that's right.
Was that first or acting?
Well, I was that strange kid that was the lead in the school play and also would win the science fair. I enjoyed sciences and would pursue both.
So you did theater in college then? So you did the...
I did in high school, I did in college.
Your major was?
In college I loved the arts, so I majored in history, and right. I was an NYU scholar, which means every weekend I would go see the ballet or the opera or a play, and I would do go to these theaters and do monologues and one acts, and cause I loved and I'd write. I even published a short story when I was 18 about Naples. So
how many years you have to study to be a doctor, first of all?
Oh,
it takes a long time.
A few dog years easily.
Yeah, right. You went to New York, the New York University too.
Well, when I finished my medical school, I trained at Bellevue.
At Bellevue?
Which once again, it was perfect because Bellevue is really the art of medicine. Because you think on your feet and...
It's a nutty place, isn't it?
To me, that was the gravy. To me, it's still, looking back, is the best memories of my medical training, the 3 years I spent at Bellevue. Because you basically, we learned by doing. You know, it'd be 3 in the morning, you get some guy come in having a heart attack, you have to go in and do something. Some guy come in... with no blood pressure, they're in shock, and you're putting devices in and doing all these things to resuscitate them. And you felt after 3 years you could handle anything and anyone. And the people that came there, and I think everyone that does medical education should train at a city hospital.
City hospital.
Because you get to see all walks of life.
Especially in New York.
Especially in New York. Especially in New York. You get to appreciate life, and you get to appreciate people's approach to life. And so many of these people that we take care of, I mean, it didn't matter if they were homeless, didn't matter,
As a doctor, it didn't matter to you people,
At all.
Yeah.
Everybody has something to say, and everybody has a perspective, and we were there to champion them, to defend them, and to make sure that they got the same care. Whether they had $1 or $1 million, they got the same care, and that was the privilege of working at a place like Bellevue.
You became a specialist, so
I decided to devote to the heart.
This is it.
Yeah, because what more personal can you get to know someone by taking care of their heart?
Their heart. And how do you answer certain questions to them when you see a failing heart? What do you say? Do you come right out with it, or no?
Well, my subspecialty was actually heart failure and transplant. So when they first went into practice, I would take care of people with end-stage heart disease and were on heart transplant lists. And you always have to approach by being realistic, but talk about what you can do. Always about what you can do, because there's always things you can do most of the time. And
what do you mean by that? What you can do? I don't understand that.
In other words, if somebody has a very bad heart condition, I mean, to start off with saying how grave and their outcome is, that's not going to help, because you have to remember you're treating the body and spirit. So you have to really inspire people to really go along with that. They can be treated. There is something to do, and you're very realistic about the choices, about the medications, about what can be expected. And to me, that is the art of medicine. That's something that I teach students, and I try to tell them, you're really trying to connect with people and try to understand who they are, where they're from, what's important to them, what they're afraid of, and how to alleviate those fears. Always listen and talk to people, talk to the patient, because...
So that's what you've learned from an actor, too, right? Because you're a good listener.
That's exactly right. People talk about what's acting. Things about being truthful, listening, and connecting.
Yes, absolutely.
And that's just the way of being in life. You have to be truthful, listen, and connect. And they say, they call that bedside manner. I just call that's human nature. It's just the way you got to approach the people.
And you have your own theater. You perform. You write. Do you write scripts?
Right.
You do?
I do write. I tell people I'm trying to be a modern Anton Chekhov, who was a physician and a playwright and an actor. And
it does relax you.
Oh, goodness, yes. I mean, you're allowed to connect different things, explore emotions, and do things on stage that one really can't do in life. I mean, all the time. That's the one thing about doing theater is that you're allowed to let that inner self, come out and really express and explore different characters, different conditions, different emotions, and it's really a great place to work that out and explore that. And the best actors, really, it's almost like letting loose the animal inside, like come on out and be it, whatever that is. So ever since I was a kid, I would always go out for plays and like to do theater and even sing. Although I don't sing anymore now, but back then I sang.